Yo, what's good, everybody,
Taco
man? How y'all doing
Tuesday.
out there? Yo, it's Taco Tuesday, man. Everywhere looking. And somebody is a Mexican fan as much as me. I am actually disappointed. I don't even have any Taco Tuesday ingredients ready to go, man.
If
It
you have
is.
that food prep, if you have that food ready,
Oh,
But guess what I did? But guess what I did? I
what you
actually
do?
could. I actually could go buy some taco shells because I'm good to go. I actually got chicken already prepped, done, smack in the fridge. I
see,
made some. I made some beer can chicken over the weekend on Sunday, man. So I'm a little still disappointed. My Saints took an L, yo. Took an L. It was very
that chicken
disappointing.
didn't take no L though.
That chicken didn't take an
Saw
L
that.
though.
I saw that in your
Yeah,
story.
nah, man. But man, I'm your boy Rillo, man. One of the hosts of the Black Lunch Break, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. I'm joined by Sika and Miss Marianne. Y'all say what's up to the people.
What's
Peace.
good, beautiful black people?
So y'all, man, this is today is September 29th, man. So y'all, first and foremost, as we do on every single show, make sure you're sharing this broadcast
Man,
wide,
share right
wide,
now.
wide with all your networks right now. Do that for us. Thank you so much. We are very appreciative of all the shares, the likes, and the comments, y'all. Constantly trying to figure out a way to bring you a better product every single day. So thank you so much for following us on this journey, so-called the Black Lunch Break. This is episode 7. And we got
7.
Dame-Jasmine Hughes coming in the building, y'all. So look, y'all stay tuned for that. She'll be joining us very, very, very shortly. She's an Ivy and OBIE award winner actor, and we're gonna get more into all the stuff that she's done over the course of her amazing career so far, man. So y'all stay locked in for that. But next up is census ends September 30th. So if you have not taken black people, especially black folk out there talking to you, if you have not taken the census thus far, go ahead and do that. Like I always say this, it takes 5 minutes of your time. 5, not 10, not 20, 5. 5 minutes, and you're good to go on that, man. So make sure you get that done. And of course, we can't forget about the fact that guess what? Election day is 35 days away, y'all, November 3rd. But I don't even want to wait. I don't even want to put it out that it's 35 days away. In fact, there are a lot of states out there that have already started early voting
Today.
process right now today, right? So you can probably vote in your state today. So make sure you get that done. It's very important, man. We have a lot on the line, man. Healthcare is on the ballot. We got the Supreme Court on the ballot, man. We have criminal justice transformation on the ballot. A host of issues that are affecting black communities as we speak. So we got to make sure we get out there. And then look, it is not just about us, right? Proper planning also involves people around you, right? So we should be grabbing our friends and our family members and taking them to the polls with us. And the polls right now could be virtually, it shows up different. So you have an absentee ballot process. There's an in-person. So whatever it is, make sure you have a plan with you and your folks around you and your community members that y'all are actually making this an event to go vote, y'all. November 3rd is the day, but try to get it on before then. Look, right now on your screen, right here, man. These are some of our great partners. Look, People's Advocacy Institute, based out of Jackson, Mississippi. Amplify Action, our good folks out there in South Carolina doing some really amazing work, whether it be involved in voter registration, education. It could be criminal justice transformation work. It could also be in terms of violence intervention work, credible messengers, you name it. Folks out there doing really good work, man. So look, y'all check them out right now. Or maybe after the show. Not right now, but after the show, right? And also another announcement, y'all. We got Michael Bibbins, man, founder of New Edition, yo.
Let's
Bell Bibbins,
go.
go in the building,
Man,
y'all. IG Takeover Wednesday. That's tomorrow, Wednesday, September 30th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. if you're on the West Coast. My folks out there that's late in the game to every goddamn thing.
you know
Y'all,
what?
y'all, look.
You knew
You
she was
know,
gonna have something to say about that.
but Michael Bibb is gonna be on there, man. Host by your boy right here, man. I'll be asking some of those questions. So if y'all got any questions y'all thinking about right now, y'all want me to drop to the brother. Any look, I know that he got people right now, even internally with Black with No Chases, like Lord, that's my hubby right there. I'm gonna be on this IG live. So look, he's gonna be in the building tomorrow, man. So glad to have the brother there. Look, so y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for that, man. Tomorrow on the IG live, man, 6
Looking
p.m.
forward to
Eastern
that
time.
one.
Looking forward to that for sure, y'all. So that's gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope. And look, Change Fest, my good brother Todd Belcourt, man, out of Chicago, Illinois, got an organization out there called Social Change. And every year for the past, I believe, 8 or 9 years now, they've been putting on Change Fest. This is the 9th year, I believe. And look, make sure that you check the Change Fest out. It's super dope. The dopest part about it
Super
is this.
dope.
It's worldwide. Really, filmmakers from Australia to South Africa to Asia to United States to Europe, but
Worldwide.
all these worldwide, right? Filmmakers are coming together under the auspices of the fact that look, they want all social change, right? So like literally, they've been vetted out. There's processes for people in college, you know, so young filmmakers that want to get out there and get in the game, people that are seasoned. So whether you got microfilms, indie films, right, short films, all those documentaries, right, are all incorporated into to Change Fest 2020. And so make sure you check that out right now, man, and go get you a ticket and go in and lock into that, yo. So shout out to them for doing all that amazing work and celebrating the arts. And of course, y'all tune into the Black Lunch Break, man. Of course, man, it's episode 7 again. We got Dame-Jasmine Hughes in the building. Isn't she a Tougaloo grad? Is she a Tougaloo grad?
She's a Tougaloo grad, and she's my line sister. Shout out to the
What?
Flames at Tougaloo College.
I mean, whatever line you were on, y'all look, that line put out some heat. I mean,
everywhere.
I'm like, damn, man, that line should be like in the Hall of Fame on like Tougaloo's campus. Cause we got
everywhere. They everywhere.
We got Just Live that came through the building, right? We got now we got Dame-Jasmine Hughes and it came from there. We had a couple other Kia Max Swain on that joint. Like, man, look, honestly, y'all, like that was a good line, boy. I tell you what, y'all sure did pick them. Y'all picked them, boy.
We did.
You have to figure out how to be an honorary line sister. What's the requirements? What I got to do? Pick up garbage on the street? What I got to do?
Hey, man.
In 2007. That's all I can say.
Hey, they say it say ain't no honorary. You can be an honorary member, but if you ain't go through them burning sands, man. If you ain't go to them sands, yo, you can't
buy some sand and sleep in the sand.
Oh shit! I heard it's a little bit more than that, man. I heard it's a little bit more than that. I mean, so shout out to the Deltas everywhere. Shout out to the Deltas everywhere, man. Sororities everywhere, fraternities and the Divine Nine everywhere. Has been doing some amazing work around the world, man. Around the world. So and all the HBCUs out there, man, we love y'all. Special shout out to my FAMU Rattlers. I gotta say this every time because I'm surrounded by Tougaloo folk. So I just gotta shout out FAMU.
Shout out your fam.
Right.
I got to, man. I got to. Anyway, man. So anyway, we're gonna turn it over to Miss Mariana for You Should Know.
All right, it's time. You all know when we do hashtag You Should Know, it comes from a space where I can't tell you what to think. I can't tell you what to feel, but I am here to educate you, edutain you with some things that you should know so that we can all make collectively and individually our own decisions, right? And so I actually spoke on this before, but I feel like I need to bring it over here to Facebook because we're real opinionated on Facebook. We be writing out whole dissertation opinion pieces, right? Facebook. Facebook is where you call to get it all out your system, right? And you know, with the ways of the world right now, a lot of the focus with You Should Know is always going to come with 3 basic concepts, right? Demystify, amplify, and prioritize, so that we can not only get some insight, we can share some opinions, but we can move forward with some actionable steps so that they can improve our lives in the home, community, workplace, neighborhood, all that good stuff, right? So today I want to talk about something that I know for a fact all of us have come in contact with at least one point of our life, if not every single day or every waking moment, right? And I want to first demystify this idea because a lot of the times, and I'll present the idea in a moment, a lot of the times we talk about each other in our own community, we say, oh, so-and-so's crazy, right? And, you know, if you say it twice, that makes it true. So if you say, you know, Keisha, she crazy, that means it's real. If Keisha is hungry, it's real, right? And so a lot of times we talk about each other being crazy, we don't really know how that shows up and how that looks when it comes to mental and emotional health. We'll excuse a lot of our behavior as, oh, she just like that. Well, whatever that is, we need to be clear on what that is and not just joke about it, right? Especially when it comes to mental and emotional health, because there's such a spectrum. We don't know when people can tilt. We don't know when people could be really deeply affected, and it can get into things like, you know, taking our own lives, going into some serious self-harm and things like that. So today is centered around mental and emotional health. And I know for a fact that I know for at least you two have come into contact with a sociopath. Now, a lot of the times when we hear the word sociopath, it's like in the movies, right? The scary movies. Oh, they're a sociopath, they're a psychopath, right? But I want to focus today on what is a sociopath. So do you know by any chance if either one of you have ever encountered a sociopath before?
Oh, I know I have. No
Oh,
I have.
okay. Have you ever dated a sociopath before?
Oh, fuck no.
I don't. So I don't know I don't know the technical term, right?
Okay, we're gonna
for
get
the
there.
sociopath. But I will say though that I've encountered a sociopath in court, and they come off as very pleasant people, right?
Oh,
They're very
yes.
manipulative. So the person that ended up getting convicted of first degree murder, this person was a sociopath, but in fact that person never did the actual like act of murdering anyone. But by way of dominion and control, like they have a way of really like mind fucking people, right? Gaslighting mind. So anyway, we'll get more to it now, but I don't know if I even dated one, but maybe I have once I get this actual real definition.
You know what?
Maybe I have.
After this segment, one of the challenges I want people to do is do some deeper research, because I'm always going to tell you, I'll tell you hashtag what you should know, but I'm always going to implore you to do your own research. You ain't got to take Miss Mari's word for it. Always do deeper research. But I want to challenge everyone after this segment and after watching this show to really go down the list of how many sociopaths that you have encountered that you just didn't know based on the information I'm about to share, or how many sociopaths are in your life. Again, using the framework always in the home, in the school, in the neighborhood, in the workplace. So when we're dealing with the sociopath, it's really important to understand that it's based in an antisocial personality disorder. And one of the things that I really want to debunk and demystify, as we always do in First Step of You Should Know, is that a lot of people run around saying, I'm antisocial. And it's actually like a thing, right? There's memes up like, oh, this whole quarantine, I've been preparing my whole life for this as an antisocial person, right? As an introvert. And we need to be very careful, because when we claim that kind of energy and we don't understand the definition, an introvert and having an antisocial personality disorder can be very different. An introvert might be somebody that's a little shy, might take them a little engagement to get them open up. Maybe they're not the person that wants to do a full-on presentation automatically, right? That's one thing. That's kind of like a personality trait that can be based off of your environment, how you're raised, how you're encouraged, your self-esteem, your confidence. But when we're dealing with antisocial personality disorders, specifically sociopaths, we really want to look for some specific things. And I think you guys will find that you have dated sociopaths, but you thought they were just narcissists, right? The sociopath is the narcissist times on 10s, on 20s, right? The sociopath is the person, which you're right, Cirillo, can be very charming, can be very alluring, can be very highly interactive with people. And oftentimes that type of extroverted sociopath will use just that to draw people in, right? And I want people to understand that just because sociopaths are in high level visibility and can be charming, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily a positive person. That is how they use how to get that mind control. There are a lot of sociopaths in CEO levels. There are a lot of sociopaths in lawyer positions, doctor positions, positions where they have a lot of power and authority, especially when we're dealing with systems of white supremacy, right? Sociopathic tendencies are, yes, charming, could be very charming, not antisocial the way we think, meaning they're always going to be hiding in the cut. So we need to differentiate that. Another trait will be they can be very cold. They can completely do that gaslighting, do that mind trickery, use your ability to bow down to their expertise or their title or their position that they have, right? But then once you are kind of in their grips, they will use that to position themselves, because sociopaths usually want something. Right. Sociopaths usually want something. They're not going to attach themselves to a particular mission or a person if it's not self-serving. So another trait to look for is if they're highly self-serving, even if they position themselves as a people person, as a powerful person who is a leader, right? So as we're going through this checklist, I want you to think about different people in the home who are in powerful dynamics or authority figures in the home that might use that. When they don't get what they want, there can be the very cold essence that can extend so deeply that they can hurt people and they almost don't have the ability to feel. Sociopaths by nature are not empaths. You know how we all throwing up knees about, oh, I feel for people. I'm an empath. I'm empathetic. I care. The person who sees somebody die, or, you know, you can feel it, even if it's not your relative, they do not tend to have empathetic feelings. If anything, that's part of that social disorder where they can completely disconnect, can be completely cold, completely do a person wrong. And after using all that charming behavior to create whatever relationship and to get what they need. So I'll ask you again, do you think any of you may have dated a sociopath? Have you ever had a boss who is a sociopath, right? So they will do the mind games. They will do whatever they can do to get what they need. They don't really respect social norms or laws. So your sociopath is a person that'll break all the rules, and as long as they don't get caught, it's fine. Your sociopath is a lawyer that will get off a cold-blooded murder and say, hey, this was my role, this was my position. Your sociopath is the CEO that knows their trade is not fair trade for people, for animals, and for the earth, but hey, it's about that dollar. That sociopath is that pimp that values the dollar more than people and can always excuse getting what they need out of the situation, because why? They have no feelings. Damn. Right? And so I think where I would like to bring this into, now we've amplified some of the definitions. Again, go on a deep dive on it. Some of it gets minimized to a narcissist, right? And they do have narcissistic behaviors oftentimes. And remember, mental health comes on a spectrum. So you could have a little baby narcissist or a little baby sociopath, and you can see the tendencies when we look at some of the like crazy mass murderers, right? And the crazy folks like Manson and all that, you can see that their behaviors as early as almost 15, right? Where they start killing the animals and torturing other little people. You've ever seen that in movies or when they're doing biographies and they look at these crazy psychopathic, sociopathic people at an early age, they're starting to want that control dynamic, that authoritative dynamic. How can I mess with this animal? How can I torture this cat? Because I have no feelings, right? How can I experiment with them and have control over the situation? So if you see it in children, you definitely want to go get some therapy and some help for this antisocial personality disorder that may show up. They might steal and not feel anything about it. Remember how your big mama say, you ain't sorry, you just sorry you got caught, right? As long as they get what they need out of the situation. And then oftentimes if you bust them out, this is when, you know, you start slashing tires because you start losing your mind and going crazy over folks because you don't realize you're dealing with a sociopath. You start crying and falling out. I thought you loved me. No, boo. They just wanted the draws. And it was a complete cutoff. They had no feeling for you at all. So I'm trying to use different analogies and different situations from the home, the school, the neighborhood, and workplace. But to finally kind of hook this into the fact that our country is run by sociopaths. And one of our favorite people that we're trying to get out of office right now, I say that jokingly, clearly now, I want you to move forward from this you should know on and using this mental assessment and looking at the behaviors of people, the Karens and the Kelvins, perfect sociopaths. They're accustomed to having a certain level of control and authority. When they don't, things break down, right? And so I think it's important for us to look at the system of white supremacy, and those people that maintain the order and the power in those systems are mostly sociopaths, people that do not have empathy, that do not have feeling for the higher good of others if it doesn't benefit them. So I ask you again, how often do you two think you come in contact with sociopaths?
Too much for my liking.
I mean, it's kind of interesting because, like, you know, especially when I think about, like, you know, from a lawyer standpoint, right? That part like stuck out to me because as somebody that has been in part of like trial with people that represented people that may have not done the best things, right? And like I think that I think there's some truth to that, but I think there's some other truth to the fact that like no matter like who is on trial, you know, that person still has a right to like have like, you know, competent representation, right? And so whatever that means. And so, you know, I feel like I feel like sometimes like when we give it out information like this, I think like it's important to qualify information because then contextualize it, because if not, people may begin to like put a blanket over like, oh, I saw this and that's me. I look at it like a horoscope, like a horoscope, right? You wouldn't look at a horoscope and go, No, that's not all of me. That's some of me. Or like you would kind of try to contextualize and then put into context for yourself. Because if not, then like putting a blanket over those definitions really just does yourself a disservice if you're going like there's a one kind of fit all type of thing. And I think a lot of the times though, you got to look at these things on a case by case basis
Absolutely.
because
Absolutely.
like you got to sift, in legal profession, it's like sift through the facts and weigh the circumstances, if you will, right? And I think
Mhm.
that you have to do that in order to get to a place where, oh, we got my boy Todd on, man. Todd, real quick, man, I'm glad you joined us, brother. Look, if you can kind of like turn your camera, because I know that brother over there. Oh, turn can you?
I'm looking upside down
Oh,
for real right
nah.
now, right?
You know what you probably do? You probably got your phone locked. Do you have your phone locked on the setting to where it won't turn? Because if you do, then it won't actually match up. But anyway, as Todd is figuring out,
There you
there
go.
we go. Boom. Hey, y'all, we got Todd, man, the executive director of social change on right before our girl Dame-Jasmine Hughes gets on, man. So he's going to talk to a little bit about, we take a pause in the cause, pause for the cause. I know we're talking about sociopaths right now, but we're going to take a pause in the cause for Todd Belcourt to talk really briefly about what is social change or who is social change. And but more importantly, though, what is Change Fest and some of those core tenets about why Change Fest is something you should be tapping into right now. So Todd, man, welcome, brother. Welcome.
Yeah, appreciate you, Rillo, and it's an honor to be here with the Black with No Chaser audience. And I've been listening and enjoying the incredible guests. Thank you all for your expertise. My name is Todd Belcourt, Executive Director of Social Change. It's a nonprofit committed to liberation through storytelling, direct action, and policy advocacy. Because until we change the policies, we can change the results. And talking more specifically right now about our International Social Change Film Fest, which is a really dope experience. It's at the intersection of storytelling, film, activism, and fun. We're showcasing films from all over the world, over 100, celebrating our common humanity, but also documenting the injustices that people are facing worldwide, but also some of the best practices in terms of how to solve some of the issues that we're dealing with, and providing action opportunities, discussions, even some live DJ sets to make sure people are coming together, building community, and having real discussions about the issues, but also having real pivot moments to get involved and to do something about the issues that are, plaguing us today.
This sounds huge. How long have you guys been building this?
Oh, thank you. This is our 9th year. Unfortunately, because of COVID, normally we have in Chicago, New York, and LA, a different kind of film meccas, if you will, within the States. And we have our partners internationally in Australia, South Africa, and Sweden, and beyond. But this year we're doing it virtually. So people, it's kind of like Netflix for social change films, where people can watch film from anywhere, anytime. And we have over 100 in our library, some really dope films, discuss everything from immigration and human rights issues to police accountability, gender, sexuality, trauma, all the things that we're all experiencing to one degree or another throughout the world at some point in time to various levels of acuity. We're providing different deep dive films, whether it be animations, narratives, documentaries, either way. It's going to be an opportunity for people to walk in the shoes of people directly impacted and better understand issues that the news coverage doesn't allow us to make sure people understand today. And then pairing that with action opportunities. I mean, we're not just talking about things, we're doing things and talking to experts, folks like y'all who are dope and experts in your field, to make sure people have more of a full understanding beyond what the film provides, and then opportunity to kind of insert themselves in the movement.
Congratulations on being on the cusp of that 10-year mark. You're really in the game when you hit that 10-year mark in it. So that is major that you guys are doing this, because I feel like y'all are changing the game a little bit. You haven't seen a lot of particular apps or different platforms that are attempting to do something like this. But as far as the inclusiveness of what y'all are providing for your audience, that is to be commended. And we appreciate you guys pushing that out to us. Social change. Where can the audience join everything that's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for the kind words about the longevity. That certainly means something. It requires a lot of stamina in the game. We are Black run, so we take a lot of pride in the excellence we provide, not just in terms of the films we show, but our activism, our policy advocacy, making real change in our communities. You can catch us at socialchange.site. There's a website, socialchange.site. And then on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Shy Social Change, Shy like Chicago. And we also have our hubs, NYC Social Change, LA Social Change, Sacramento Social Change. There you go. See. So, and what we're going to be growing even more. But as of now, please pop on, take a look. Social Change that site. You don't want to miss Change Fest. It's a ton of fun. And the good news is you can catch it from anywhere, anytime. But we do have discussions that are available live for people to participate in every weekend between 6 and 8 p.m. is when the live Q&As take place. And God willing, we'll have dope people like Rillo and some of you queens here to kind of walk us through what that could look like in terms of moderating, to have more perspectives and more questions and answers and things that are really compelling for our audiences to really tap into. But yeah, don't miss it. Films are available anytime, but if you want to be part of live conversations, it's during the weekend, 6 to 8 Central. I know you balls on East Coast time, so I just got to add Central, make sure I'm not losing nobody and people be in the wrong time, wrong place. But yeah, I can't be more excited about it. Thank y'all for giving me the opportunity to share a little bit about it.
Thank you so much for coming on telling us. Go ahead, brother.
And look, I really just gotta say though, and just so y'all know though, look, if you go on to the actual website, right? You go onto the website. This is only for our Black with No Chaser folks out there. If you go onto the website, use promo code BWNC for the promo code. You get 25% off all access tickets to the Change Fest 2020. So make sure again that's BWNC for the promo code when you go into the website. And the website again is watch.eventive, eventive.org/changefest. Y'all make sure that y'all go and lock into that, man. BWNC is the promo code for that website. Y'all lock in, man. And so, man, Todd, thank you so much, brother, for joining us. I know it's short notice, man. You're a very, 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 very busy brother over there in Chicago, man. But stay safe, man. Stay blessed. We'll be locked in and tuned in this weekend for part 2, right? Part 2 of the COVID edition of Change Fest.
That's right.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll be talking about human rights, world affairs, politics, all things that are incredibly timely and salient as we talk about the things and issues of the day. So don't miss it. Tune in. And thank you again for the opportunity. Social Change that site, y'all. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, all. Appreciate you.
All right. God bless y'all.
Peace. You back to sideways.
And now wrapping up. And we back, yo. And we back. And look, again, if y'all just tuning in, man, a couple of things we talked about already. Talked about taking the census tomorrow. We talked about election time. We talked about having a plan for voter registration. We also talked about how to identify a sociopath. And that was given to us by Miss Mariana, but I know we had a break in the cause, right? So we had to pause for the cause real quick. So Miss Mariana, if you don't want to maybe put a button or bow on a sociopath, is there such thing as a systematic sociopathy? I mean,
absolutely.
I feel like it should be, right? Yeah.
I mean, that's what I was trying to really explain. But I do want to address where you put the pin in, because I think that was very obvious. And of course, your ears perked when you heard the lawyer part. I want to make sure to zoom in on a few things. Number one, me saying that things happen on a spectrum. When things happen on a spectrum, there is necessarily a blanketed way to define anything. And so that's why I always suggest everyone doing their own research. And in the event that you're starting to look at the research and you're looking off a few, more than one or two off of a checklist, that is when it's time to seek a professional. So I always say that I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm here to bring awareness to sometimes when we're experiencing things that we don't know is a thing. And a lot of us as Black people are running around thinking we're crazy or being engaged with people who do have mental and emotional issues, and we don't know the definitions or signs. So by no means, if a person that you deal with has some of these tendencies, do I say you just call them a sociopath and, dismiss them. What I'm saying is
oh, dang. Her internet just kicked her out.
What she's saying is her internet ain't working and the internet's hated on it. I what she was saying, y'all. And look, we live right now on the Black Lunch Break. And so we might as well roll it right over to Saging with Sika, which is one of my favorite parts of the show, which I love. So we're going to clear the air real quick, man, right before our guest, Dame-Jasmine Hughes, jumps on. So Sika, take us away, man. Clear the air for us, please.
Sociopaths, they trying to knock me off. The sociopaths that run the company don't want me up in here. Where the Sage at? Anyway, let me finish and say that no, I do not want to say that all lawyers or all CEOs are sociopaths. But what I will say is you'll hear me say a lot of the times there are certain people that tend to make this type of person. So if you see multiple traits, multiple characteristics, and then you look at a certain positioning that this person puts themselves in, or you look at a certain treatment where there's no remorse or no care, and then you see a balance of like so many of these issues, so many of these outcomes, and you keep engaging it, right? The definition of insanity is engaging something over and over, expecting a different outcome and not getting it. So if you find yourself engaging with somebody who is showing you sociopathic tendencies, who has some of the things on the spectrum of an antisocial personality disorder, because there's several, this is not the only one. These are facts in terms of these different disabilities or different differences in mental and emotional health stands. Like, these are real things. I'm not making these up, but I do think it is important that if you see enough of these things and you're starting to feel gaslighting, you're starting to be affected where you think you're losing your mind and you're going crazy and something ain't right, it's time to do some research, put your you should know hat on, figure it out. I know for a fact that Trump is a sociopath. That's kind of obvious for me. I have no problem looking at the list and identifying those things. But I think it's important, whether we're dealing with systems of white supremacy, to be able to understand that a lot of that has to be from a sociopathic point of view to even conduct yourself and treat races and groups of people in that way. And so however you use this information, always do your research. Understand that I might be an expert on some things, but not all things. And I appreciate that, because I don't want to offend all lawyers. I don't want to offend all CEOs, but if the shoe fits, let me fluff my little baby Afro puff. If the shoe fits, people are now aware, and you can't get away with hurting people anymore.
That's right, y'all.
Damn.
That's right.
And that is today's You Should Know with Miss Mariana. And we moved it on station with Sika, because that sociopath energy just came up in here and just knocked you out, and we don't appreciate that. So
they don't want me to tell the truth. They don't want me to tell on them. They don't want me to tell on them.
Today on Station with Sika, we're going to talk about moon signs. A person's moon sign is directly affiliated with the inner qualities of a person. Your fears, emotions, intuitions, and vulnerabilities are determined by your moon sign. It basically gives you an insight into your feelings, thoughts, and things that you should feel strongly about. Even if you're not aware of such emotions, your moon sign in conjunction with your sunshine gives the best insight into your personal self. Now, you have to do your research, as Mari just finished telling us, about your sun signs, not sunshine. And you will be able to combine that with your moon sign. See, damn, them words are just slippery. Combine those two, and you'll be able to navigate through life and all of the turmoil and the happiness that is out here very successfully. And that is today's Saging with Sika moment.
I love that.
I'm gonna go ahead.
I'm sure that every time.
Oh, every time, man. I actually, it never gets old to me. Every time I hear, it's like always it's refreshing. I think that also it has something to do with Sika's voice, right? It's like the way the delivery of Saging with Sika is also in part why Saging with Sika is so dope. So I do appreciate that every single time.
I appreciate my words, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I wanna really quickly take a host privilege moment.
She's waiting. Go ahead.
Oh no! Bring it on in, man. It's actually
bring them out. Bring them out.
Bring it on in, Dame-Jasmine.
What's up, y'all?
What's up?
That's good, beauty.
Hey, look. Hey, baby hair's laid. Hair laid. Okay.
Yay, hold up.
Hey, shout out.
Oh, what kind of
shout out
do you use?
I got some for you.
I got some. Hey, look, y'all. Before I get real quick, introduce Dame-Jasmine Hughes to the Black Willis Break stage, man. Real quick, y'all. I want to take an opportunity to take the host privilege of going ahead and say, look, make sure y'all check out and follow Dim Hands University, y'all. Dim Hands University has been a staple right now, man. It's going viral all over the internet. People been swagger jacking the entire vibe, y'all. So make sure y'all check out Dim Hands University. And without further ado, I think I want to just take another moment to introduce our special guest today, man. Look, we are joined by Dame-Jasmine Hughes, y'all. An OBIE Award winner for a role is IVEY Award winner for performance in Sunset Baby by Luke Bellamy. She's an active filmmaker, writer, public artifact, gangster mom, fly astronaut, and an educated thug. So what that really means is, in other words, She's more than willing, right, to give anyone a full scholarship to Dame-Jasmine University if
Come
you
on
run up
now,
on it in the
birds.
streets. So look,
See,
you know what
like
I'm saying?
Kobe
Like,
say,
try
try Jesus,
Jesus,
don't try me.
please don't try me. Hey, yes, indeed. So anyway, Dame-Jasmine, welcome to the show. It says it's so good to have you. So good to have you.
Pleasure to be
Welcome.
here. Thank you guys for having me.
All right.
You know what? We gotta get it rolling into the icebreaker questions.
Oh, this is my
Let's go.
favorite part. This is my favorite part.
Alright.
Okay. So, you know, we always get into picking your brain and your projects and all that good stuff. But one of our teammates on the inside was like, look, we got to break the ice. We got to get to know people. So I'm gonna ask you 5 questions. Number 1, one song that you know all the lyrics to, and I need at least one little ad lib, one little line.
When it all falls down, Kanye West.
Yes.
Fuck the police, that side treater. We buy
You
one.
Okay,
buy
give me
way
one
off
line.
the
Give me
bill,
one
but we
line.
can't
Come
buy
on,
We
give me a
buy
line.
a lot of clothes, but we don't
We
really need
don't
them.
really need them things. We buy the cover
couple
of
old
what
butts
What's
aside because they
inside?
made us hate ourselves and love themselves. That's why Shawty
Shorty's holler where the ball is at.
Hell, I
Oh,
love
she
it.
doing the whole verse.
Yeah.
All right, hands down, favorite Black movie.
Harlem Nights.
What's your
Ooh,
favorite Black movie?
yes.
Harlem Nights. She said Harlem
Harlem
Nights.
Nights.
Bam.
Damn,
Shot
good.
her in the pinky toe. Shot him in the pinky toe.
You wanna
All right,
shoot
what's
me
your
in my
third
pinky
question?
toe?
Here we go. Pinky toe. Look, she ready. She ready. First time you recognize your own Black excellence. What's the very first time that you like sat back and was like, damn, I got it going on? Like, what happened? What was the first time you really recognize your own Black excellence?
I think it was looking
Good
around in a
questions. Good
room
questions.
of people who I had always thought were smarter than me, and finally realizing that they weren't.
Hey, boy, look. You know what's crazy about that statement right there is the higher you get, you
Yes,
realize that
indeed.
many,
Yes,
many
indeed.
people
I
don't know
love
what the hell is going on.
it.
They just don't know.
Keep
Like,
it.
I remember being in rooms and people going like nobody having a clue on what to do next. And then somebody gonna stand up and be like, well, I guess I'll spitball something. And then somebody like, I'll
Right.
spitball. Everybody spitballing even at the top, y'all. So look, don't ever, ever, ever suppress your idea or your
Right.
creativity because you think that somebody is somewhere.
Right.
Because guess
Right.
what? We all starting off from these ideation moments. You know what I mean? So that's what's up. I love the answer.
And we're moving on to the favorite Black business and why.
Right. Show up and show out regardless of who's around. All right. All right. Now this can be a plug for somebody that you believe in. Your favorite Black business. Your favorite Black business and why?
Honey Pot.
Isn't that like some beauty?
It's feminine. It's feminine.
It's
Like
feminine products. It's feminine products.
Feminine products. Okay.
Yo, I only know that because my lady buys it. So I was like, yo, honey pot. She talks about it. I
And
was
why
like,
do you think why
I
is
got
Honey Pot your favorite business?
I think her model, her model for being an inspiration to young Black women
Is
who
keeping that womb right.
Yeah, and even the story behind how she got the idea, it's quite magical.
You got to keep that womb all in balance. They keep the juices right.
And she said she dreamed of the ingredients. That, like she dreamed of it, and so I just think it's like holy initiation. It's like magical,
Shit, that is magic. Nothing but.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
yo,
indeed.
and last
All
but
right,
definitely
last
not least,
question.
man.
Last question. What does Black with no chaser mean to you?
I think it's not being concerned with.
There's a delay like no joke right now.
For real.
It's just with Mari. It's okay. You feel in the groove.
Yeah, like just not being concerned with political correctness. It's like understanding that Black Americans, you know, are the closest thing that the world has ever seen to outer space aliens. Like, we were literally taken on a ship, which also could be equated to a spaceship, and put in a whole nother world and culture, and have been trying to assimilate, you know, to these non-Afrocentric, you know, identities and values, and we not built to. And so I think it's like understanding, like, we are Afronauts. There is nothing, you know, that
oh, I like
yeah.
Afronauts, dog.
Yeah, there's nothing that we it's in our DNA, you know, to be exquisitely, you know, profound and different.
Now, Jasmine, I gotta ask real quick though. Like, how you been doing over the whole, like, since COVID? You know what I mean? I think it's important to ask because many people have been dealing with COVID in a myriad of different ways. But how have you been doing? How your family's been doing?
Yes,
and all that good jazz.
Black with no chaser, and that's your 5.
Yeah. That's my 5 questions. Icebreaker. It's I mean, it's something that it's nothing like anything any of us have ever experienced before. And yeah, I still feel like I'm still in quarantine, you know, like I'm still in that stage of uncertainty and slight fear. And I lost my granddad in early August, and he was a titan, you know, in my family and in my upbringing, my identity, you know. And come on somewhere with that cat.
What's up, Pooh?
She got a new cat. She got a kitten. You trying to show that cat? So yeah, so it's like I had never really experienced loss on that level. So it's taken some just extraordinary resilience. And it wasn't due to COVID, but just the idea that the effects of it are so pervasive that everything is almost due to COVID, even when it's not.
That's real though. That's real. Like, everything you feel like these days is like you almost want to put, like, start with the COVID and then, like, move from there, man. Because everything feels like it's been, look, people showing love to the Afronauts though. I love that. I love that so much though, yo. I love that. I feel like there's a collab going on, man, with the BWNC merch store. If there hasn't been a collab yet, yo, and trying to figure out how we can, like, spend some of that, man, and give folks some of that Afronaut energy. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely feeling that, like, heavy. When I saw it on top of your bio, I was like, oh, okay. She lit. Like, I love when people, and I see people like that have I think when you see that type of verbiage, like, I feel like they have a deep understanding about, like, how they show up in the space, like how you want to show up. Like, this is me, like, not just like I'm just a Black person. Yeah, but you thought about that in a way in which, like, that it responds to you as a person, like, through and through. Like, so I love the fact that you like, I'm an Afronaut, I'm an educated thug. Like, hey, don't get it twisted. Like, because, you know, at Black with No Chaser, man, shout out to CJ, man, our CEO. But like he always says, like, we just as good in the streets as we are in the tweets. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that means that, like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's
to the White House.
That's it, dog. It's so, like, you know what I'm saying? We just letting people know that, like, we lit. Like, you know, I love that type of, like, verbiage and being able to express yourself in that way, man. I appreciate that for real. That was dope.
Yes, indeed.
Now, CJ made this post about you a couple of weeks ago, and it stirred up many conversations because of the stage play that P Valley actually started off. So could you give the audience, like, a rundown and what the experience was of you actually being the real Mercedes?
Yeah. I mean, it's been an extraordinary, I mean, cultivating and crafting, originating that role was unlike any experience, you know, I had ever had up until that point. I was actually a school teacher in Greenwood
Wow.
when that show originated. And Nataki Garrett, who was a professor and associate dean at Cal Arts, which was, shout out to Cal Arts, I received my MFA in fine arts there. And she said, hey, I might be directing this world premiere of a Katori Hall show. And I had been a fan of Katori's work because, I mean, she's a awarded playwright. And she has a play called Hoodoo Love. That was the first play that I did out of school. And so I was a huge fan of her work. And, you know, we're essentially from the same region. And she's from Memphis and I'm from Greenwood. So, yeah, I got this opportunity. We trained for 6 months. I remember, like, you know, teaching school and then driving to Memphis and then driving back to Greenwood and, you know, carrying this, you know, this kind of secret of this like up and coming show that was happening at Mixed Blood about these strippers from the Mississippi Delta. And, you know, my life was very parallel to a couple of the characters. And by chance, I ended up playing Mercedes. And like I said, we spent 6 months training, learning. Like, we ain't had no stunt doubles. You know what I'm saying? And
you know what?
we,
I remember seeing you
yeah,
doing this, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." Who knew?
yeah,
that
we did.
You knew that was going to be something epic, but
Oh yeah,
we just following your journey.
oh yeah, we did. We had 6 to 7 shows a week. You know,
Wow.
Doing those pole tricks ourselves and crafting these roles. And the play hasn't, you know, it hasn't been done again. It hasn't been done since our very first production. And within that process, Nico, who plays Uncle Clifford, was a part of the original cast. He played Uncle Clifford in the original cast. You know, I cultivated relationships with actors and artists and writers that, you know, forged lifetime friendships. And so I eventually got as far as I had gotten up until that point in terms of, you know, with casting, it's a process. And so, you know, we were sending in tapes, and I think I sent in about, you know, because I still had to audition, you know, even though we had originated the roles, you still have to audition because Stars was also giving Katori an opportunity, you know. And a lot of times when we don't have the power to make executive decisions that we might have thought we could have made, then, you know, it's easy to kind of put it on what I was told, camera technique. And, you know, as a classically trained experimental artist from one of the top institutions in the country, if I ain't directable, ain't nobody directable.
Talk to him. Talk to him, man.
So yeah,
that's interesting.
and you know, I just really had to, you know, it took a while for me, you know, a disappointment like that in an industry like that and an opportunity like that. You know, you don't at the time feel like it happens that often, you know, but, you know, with great triumph sometimes comes great disappointment, you know, and it probably ain't gonna be the last time. You know, it wasn't the last time.
There's something
so
there.
Yeah, I've originated, you know, for the past 5 years, I've originated 4 roles, you know, by all Black women writers.
Now that's some dope shit.
That's dope.
Yeah, all Black women writers. And one thing that's very important to me about Black with No Chaser as a Mississippian and as a Mississippi-born entity, right? You know, I go all over the country, all over the world, and I originate these roles and I tell these stories. And very, very, very rarely are we telling them. You know, very, very rarely are we telling them, you know. And I think going forward, as we cultivate content and as we reshape and reframe the narrative about what it means to be from Mississippi, then we need to recognize our agency in a better
and
way.
take our narrative back.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That makes a lot of sense
No,
because a lot of people with the correct funding, they love to take it and just run with it. And as far as the ingredients that we have here in Mississippi, you
Oh yeah.
can't duplicate that. You
Oh yeah.
literally
You can't
have
make
to
us and you
use
can't
the
duplicate
original
us.
creators.
Yeah.
And giving them the type of access to be able to produce our stories is actually producing inauthentic storylines because no one can tell the stories the way that we can tell it. The Mississippi way is the
Yeah.
only way that we can tell these stories.
And I just, sometimes you feel like, that authenticity, that rawness, that resilience, is
yep.
a lot of times taken for granted, is
For
a lot
sure.
of times attempted to be exhausted, for the benefit of others. And you have, amazing research-based writers,
Yes.
And we gotta take back our agency, because we are some of the most interesting people in the world, and that's
Yes.
proven when I'm going, when I'm in Sydney, or when I'm in Sydney and I'm seeing a show about Mississippi, or when I'm in, Alicia Harris, Is God Is, and one of the most incredible shows on, for OBIE. She's a Mississippi native and is really pushing the bar in how Black bodies are represented and Black stories are being told. And it's nothing like it's nothing with lotus flowers.
Huh. There you
Now,
go.
let's. I want to talk about that for a minute though, because like I know you shouted out the I'm assuming the director or writer of Is God Is, but you're also an award winner of the OBIE Award, right? So for folks out there that don't really know, what is in fact the OBIE Award, and how is that really like, and what does that mean for you as an
Yeah.
actor, a filmmaker? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And OBIE is off Broadway, what some people might say an off Broadway Tony. So it's in an off Broadway space. This one was a very small space by a theater known as Soho Rep Theater. Incredible, experimental, like cutting edge, like they set the bar for American theater. They
That's
pushed
dope.
the envelope. And Alicia won an award called a Relentless Award. And so the play was, it set New York on fire. We got extended like 3 times, and the cast was incredible. And it got picked up by like Scott Rudin. I think that's his name. Yeah, Scott Rudin, something like that, to be made into a feature film. And so we won. She won an OBIE. I won an OBIE. The actor Alfie Fuller, who played my twin sister, won an OBIE, and the director won an OBIE. And it's it's an incredible honor as a theater artist. Unfortunately, you learn really fast, though, that it doesn't mean as much as people would have you believe that it was worth. You know what I'm saying? And so if you make it about the work, then each time that we got awarded, it came as a surprise, but it came as a reward to me really, putting it all out there, putting it all out there, really making it a collaborative experience with the creators, really going out there every night and, basically communing, with the gods. That's what theater is. It's like being a vessel for these stories and these ancient spirits and these, these vessels, being a vessel, and that show was like
exactly
2.5 hours. Yeah, every night. Yeah.
And would you say that, like, I see so many trash movies. I see so many trash. I
Man,
mean, like it's like I'd be like, how did they even make it to the budget state? How did they get there, right? But then you got stories like yours, you got Is God Is, and all these amazing productions, right? All these amazing films and
Yeah.
performances, but they never get to the like. I mean, what could be done better?
Mm.
Even from a Black with No Chaser, like what could be done better in your space as you see
Yeah.
that just not happening? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think like we as, young radicals, content creators, we don't have the luxury of knocking on no doors and sitting down waiting for no invitations to these white boy clubs and these meetings and begging for the crumbs off of their tables, and hoping that they're gracious and generous enough to give us this opportunity that only comes to the very few of us every once in a lifetime. You know what I mean? The time for that is over. It's about us being our own content creators. It's about us putting our money behind our own shit.
Betting
Period.
on yourself. Straight up.
On your
You know,
shit.
yeah, and they come. They come if it's good enough, if it's authentic enough. We the wave. We set the trends.
You ain't lying
Facts.
that. What's up, Greg?
The
Appreciate you checking in with us, showing that love. We
color girls.
appreciate you, bro. CJ is asking what's coming
Absolutely.
next. Are you collaborating with Black with No Chaser to bring any new content?
CJ. Don't play.
CJ.
Yeah, CJ and I've been having this conversation for a while, and it's time. So I'm in the process right now of building, a film production entity where we have material that's already on the dockets that we want to see how we can shoot, because going forward, like the theater as we know it is done. And nobody's gonna be sitting in a 1,000-seater for 2.5 hours anymore watching no people kiss on stage all day. So we got to reinvent the wheel, reframe the narrative, redefine how we tell stories, how we shoot things. And if you're not a forward thinker, then you're gonna fall behind the curve, because like we are in the future.
We are for sure. I mean, like, and so I guess like I think CJ asked is like, what are some like upcoming projects or things? I don't want to like pick your brain too much and give too much tea, because I know that's some of like your
Yeah.
intellectual property. What are some things that you got going that we should be on the lookout for, that we could be celebrating? You know what I'm saying, as you're kind of marching along.
Yeah, so we did a film, my first film that I, co-wrote and produced and acted in, and did the music for North Loop.
That shit is
And
dope.
yeah, such a timely,
It's on time.
provocative, yeah, short. And the short was really the proof of concept that came out of this broader series that we refer to as ABB, Angry Black Bees. And it was like satire, parody, like Atlanta meets two broke girls divided by two broke, woke, and brown girls. These were millennial Afronauts that were striving to live out loud in a world that refuses to hear them. It was set in Minneapolis. And, we wrote a pilot. We actually wrote like 7 to 8 episodes of what we wanted to be a 13-episode series. And some guys out of Minneapolis, Pixel Farms, Jeff Stonehouse, big time DP, read our work, and he says like, this is amazing, but it would take a lot of money to shoot this, and I don't have a lot of time. But if you have a shorter form, then we can shoot this proof of concept, and then you can shop it to this film festival. And that's what we did. So we went to the Chicago Film Fest, which was Oscar award winning, prior to George Floyd, like right, like and we made like Minneapolis a character in the film, and it was just such a like brilliant topical commentary on how these Black bodies existed in this very culturally stark world, like pre George Floyd. Like nobody thought the revolution was gonna happen in Minneapolis but Prince,
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's crazy to go back and to think, how Yeah, how ahead of the curve we were. So anyway, so we're going back to do some rewrites. Of course, there's some stuff that, you know, would be incredibly difficult to shoot in a climate like this, and so we're revisiting that because we have some potential funding, and we're hoping to make that a collab with Black with No Chaser, and that be the first of many like narrative-based digital content, self-produced shows we do. Yeah, still writing. My brother is a musician, and we're producing and putting out music, and you know, it's yeah, if you're just an actor in a time like this, you like, yeah, you got, it's a, you know, you running into some problems because, you know, we having to reframe the narrative right now. So, yeah.
I was telling before you hopped on, I was telling Cirilla and Mariana that we are line sisters, and so he was like, "Yo, what's up with that line?" I just want to take this moment to say, after knowing you for 14 years, you have continued. I know, right? I shouldn't have just told our age like that. After knowing you for as long as I have, every year you have defied the odds. Every year. I can honestly say, without being your line sister, I'm a true fan because the way that you carry yourself, the way that you protrude your artiste is amazing. Like, even if I didn't know you, I would more than likely be following your journey because your journey, it just feels real. You connect. It feels like, you know, you are in there in the soul and that you are here living to be the vessel that you really are. Because when you explained that earlier, being in this field, you have to recognize that you're a vessel that's passing on these stories. And a lot of people that's in the acting field, they really don't feel like that. They just really feel like, hey, I'm an actor and this is what I do, and I just want to keep doing these roles and make
I want to
money.
be on TV.
Exactly. Not necessarily recognizing that they are a real vessel. So we have to take the time to give you your flowers while you're here and appreciate you being the vessel that you are being, because you're only going to continue to soar. I mean, you're an eaglet, right? Tougaloo.
Yes,
So you're gonna do that anyways. History meets the future every time.
Where history
But
meets the future.
we want to appreciate you now in 2020
Yes.
for
I
everything that
appreciate
you've
that.
been doing. And we want to encourage you to continue doing everything that you are doing. And of course, you know, we appreciate you collabing with us because
Yeah.
2021 is gonna be no joke with you. And we appreciate you just being here
Yes,
with us.
expansion and dominion, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I love you too, CJ. I love y'all too. Black with No Chaser.
Well, look, y'all. I think we first of all, I just want to say on behalf of myself and the entire Lunch Break crew, Dame-Jasmine, it was a pleasure to have you in the building, sis. You know, of course,
My
always welcome.
pleasure.
You are definitely family. You like, you know what I like. You know, people say like there's certain bonds you got, right? I feel like, you know, we got the Tougaloo bond, we got the sip bond, we got the actual passion for creating for our people bond. So we then got a covalent bond of just shit we about to
So
collab on and build with. And
Mhm.
you know, really appreciate you for like putting yourself out there and being vulnerable in these spaces because it's tough. It's a tough world out there, an industry that really doesn't respect the work that we do, respect our artistry and how we tell stories and our narratives. And appreciate you, man, for all the work that you've been doing and really be able to try to be a vessel, a continued vessel, pushing narratives that are so very important to who we are as a people and community. So shout out to you. But you know, we rounding
Yeah,
down
love
the
y'all.
hour, man. We
Yeah.
three minutes behind. We 3 minutes behind. We be trying to keep this thing dialed into an hour, but sometimes though for certain guests we
time
do
just
we
be
do gotta
good.
keep folks on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the pleasure was all mine. Thanks for having me.
for sure, yo. But any last
Beautiful.
words, Seek, Mariana, what you got?
If
You
there's
know, I was reflecting on what Sister said about, you know, theater and what that means for young people who may not have that experience in terms of being cultivated through theater. So I hope that although we're recreating that narrative, I hope there's just some grassroots way that we can allow young people to have that rich experience that she's had. I mean, that's what's lifted her into such a beautiful, Afronaut. And I just, it was like, it's so wonderful to hear that she had that experience, but then it's like bittersweet. Like, man, if theater's what helped her to become this mighty person in this way in her craft, like, we got to figure out with Black with No Chaser how to sponsor some kind of events that will allow theater to still be able to be a continual gift and a channeling force for our babies, because it's beautiful what it's done for her life. And I know my experience in theater has helped me just be a better human being. So our kids need this art, this love, this joy. And I'm so glad that you have been, kissed by the gods and goddesses in order to share who you are with us. So thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they said theater is good, makes you famous, TV makes you rich. So yeah.
Well, look, y'all. Hey, Jasmine, real quick. Dang, real quick though. I don't know if you can hear me. A little bit. I think the internet's attacking you now. You know what I'm saying? We're getting attacked from all angles, man. It's crazy out here, man. It's crazy. Shout out to everybody who's been watching today. We had Dame Jasmine in the building. She's collecting us. So, but look, every single Tuesday and Thursday, y'all, we bringing y'all nothing but the heat, man. It's the sociopath and the internet's, man, that's killing us right now. But no, every single day, Tuesday and Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Look, it's 12 p.m. Central Time. If you're on the West Coast, we know y'all, it ain't lunch yet. But goddamn, get creative, okay? Bring your lunch at 10 a.m., right? Your brunch or whatever it is. We here every Tuesday and Thursday with our guests. And tomorrow, look, we got Michael Bivens. Michael Bivens will be on IG Live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Look, we got it. And also, too, and Sika just had it right there. If you want to add with us, man, hit us up, man. Look, you get us on ad sales at blackwithnochaser.com. Look, if you go shop with us, go to www.blackwithnochaser.myshopify.com. Go ahead and grab some of this merch right here. Super quality. Look, man, we really do appreciate everybody. Last month we hit a milestone last month in terms of sales. It's been awesome to kind of get this type of like overwhelming support. We really do appreciate each one of you all for tapping into the work that we're doing. And so, yeah, man, it's been beautiful. It's been beautiful, y'all. So make sure you follow Miss Mariana 365, yo. Make sure you're following your boy, man. You see, Cirillo with an O, Cirilo with us, and then I am Seeker, man, across social media platforms, y'all. But this is the Black Lunch Break. You know what I mean? This is it. What we think Black.
Live Black. Unapologetically.
Unapologetically, y'all. Until next time. Love y'all.